Marton Mills, established in 1931, is a family-owned and managed weaving mill based in the heart of Pooling Wharfdale in West Yorkshire. A wide range of yarns are stock supported to ensure short lead times are achieved. Several tonnes of top-dyed yarn are imported each month, and here packaged dyed yarn is being delivered from our local spinners, where as little as 3 kilograms can be dyed to match the shade required. This is taken into the yarn warehouse where it is prepared for warp and weft. Cone winding ensures the optimum amount of yarn on each cone required for the weaving process. This is dependent on how many metres of fabric is required. Once the warp has been made, rewinding of the cones is needed for the weft. Using the latest technology, the Carl warping machine allows flexibility of production. As little as 13 metres can be warped to fulfil small orders or allow for samples to be made before committing to bulk. This machine can warp up to 350 metres depending on the number of ends and yarn count. Up to 16 colours can be used. The fingers lay the yarn according to the width of the pattern required, and the lacing bars keep threads in the correct order. From the swift, the warp is fed onto the weaver's beam. The VTA warping machine is capable of weaving up to 1800 metres. This is creeled in from 200 cones through the reed which specifies the pattern before winding onto the swift. The length of time to warp depends very much on the type of yarn used. Polyester is strong and can warp quickly under high tension, whereas more fragile yarn will warp more slowly as too much tension will cause the fibre to snap. An average warp will take 6 hours. From the swift onto the weaver's beam, the warp is checked to ensure an even distribution. In the warp preparation area, yarn is spliced and pulled through reeds, heddles and droppers on, ready for knotting up. A Vega machine also does this electronically. 16 machines run 6 days a week, 24 hours a day. Combining technology with skilled weavers allows Marton Mills to produce up to 18,000 metres of fabric per week. The weft is woven back and forth across the warp and collects in the centre. A variety of compositions including polycotton, polyviscose, polywool and pure wool, producing plains, checks, stripes and tartans, are woven to give a comprehensive stock-supported range of fabric. The cloth is inspected on the perch and any imperfections removed or noted for mending. The fabric is then weighed as part of the quality control process. Skilled burlers and menders rectify any imperfections or faults. The fabric then goes on to our sister company, Roberts Dyers and Finishers in nearby Keighley for the next stage of the process. Loom state is batched by colour, and fabric is singed twice on the face where abrasion may occur and once on the back so it is softer next to the skin. Any fibres are removed from the surface. Fabric for dyeing is sewn to ensure evenness of dyeing and straightness of fabric. Jet dye vessels have soft flow jets. Dyeing of polyviscose is a 2-stage process, one to dye the polyester, another for the viscose. Jig dyeing is open width and used for fabric prone to creasing. Fabric then goes on through a washer which removes any dirt or lanolin from sheep's wool or oil from the weaving process. The tentering process sets the fabric to a usable width of approximately 60 inches and applies a crease-resist resin and Teflon if required. The KD machine forces steam and water through the fabric to give lustre and handle. The fabric is then inspected for evenness of dyeing and rolled and tubed prior to delivery back to Marton Mills. The quality control process starts from the submit sent from the yarn dyers. The yarn is checked prior to approval for quality and continuity of shade. This is inspected under artificial daylight, TL84 which is store light and tungsten. The fabric is checked to ensure continuity of set size and width of fabric. It is washed and 2 samples taken from the warp and 2 samples from the weft to test for pilling. The pilling test consists of 36,000 rotations. In the fabric warehouse, yarn is measured for the order required. It's dispatched half width on board for ease of storage or tubed, and a final inspection is done. 2 delivery drivers means fabric can be delivered on time, covering both Scotland and London and the areas in between every week. Through the integration of a versatile, highly skilled workforce and investment in the latest technology, Marton Mills are committed to meeting the needs of our customers for years to come.